Good morning. It's Friday. It's April the 10th. Here in Calgary, Canada. Hoping that this morning you're in a peaceful place, wherever you are, whenever you're catching this recording, live or later, that there's a place and a space in you that is in non-resistance to life, that you are open and flowing with what's happening in your world. Even if it's difficult, that there's a way that you can be carried through that. Allow yourself to move with the flow and the direction that the water is flowing, the water of life, so that you can feel lighter, that you're working a little less intensely than necessary. Doing what you have to do with the support of the universe. So this morning, I thought we would do a short tune-in and then a practice called Tonglen. It is a Tibetan practice, a Buddhist practice around sending and receiving compassion. So I'll talk more a little bit after we tune in and just doing a scan right now of your space, of your body, noticing your senses, what's happening in you right now. This beautiful body that you've been given, this vehicle for spirit to express itself in this lifetime. There's a body that gets to do that experiencing. And so your senses are the perfect way to start to realize, oh, I didn't know I was smelling that or tasting that. Hey, Bobby, nice to see you. Happy Friday. Just feeling your senses, connecting with the space around you, the sounds, the scents, the tastes, the vision behind your eyes. If your eyes are closed, if you're taking in this screen, take in the sense of light and shade, the colors of the space around you, even if they're not in sharp focus. Just allowing yourself to receive the sensations of the moment. And allowing gravity to embrace you. Feeling your feet and your body just sinking into your chair, your couch, your bed, wherever it is you're watching from. Wherever you're receiving this from. I hope you are in a state of receiving this meditation, allowing it to just kind of come into you without working at it, just being with it. Breathing in. Gravity taking you down like an elevator, floor by floor, layer by layer into the earth. And then start to feel your body in the tight places, the places where you're feeling a little constricted, where things are not quite free in you. And no need to understand why it is that way today. There's always a litany of reasons that your mind wants to run, and they might be helpful another time, but it's not the purpose of this moment. This moment is just to be with yourself as you are without an opinion about whether it's good or bad. Everything we want to label, and this is your moment to just step away from that. If you have a tight spot, notice it. If you have openness and freedom, hey Teresa, if you have openness and freedom happening in your space, beautiful. If it's a challenging, tight, constricted space, beautiful. You have a body that's feeling something. It's all welcome. So just feeling your feet and your legs and your hips and belly, your torso, and breathing into all those spaces and down into your arms, your hands, your fingers. Relaxing into the moment. Being curious and in wonder without judgment. And now notice your feelings. There's so many complicated feelings out there in the world right now. But what are you feeling right now? What is yours to feel? Some of us are very sensitive to what's going on in the world around us, and that's a beautiful thing. But sometimes we confuse what's ours and what's others. And it's an important distinction to know, because the things you're feeling are the things you can do something with. And the rest, I'm going to give us a practice today that will allow you to support the others out there, but not to take it on as a personal load to bear. Noticing the difference between those two spaces is a really important mastery in this world, in this life. So what are you feeling? Just noticing, letting the story of the feeling fall away for a moment so that you don't have to justify it. You don't have to make something more of it, amplify it, ramp it up, which is what we often do if it's a challenging feeling. And then if it's a positive feeling, we might tend to want to downplay it in case it doesn't last very long. Let's not expand into that lovely, open, peaceful place in case the other shoe's going to drop. We want to find our place of just being with what is, not amplifying it, not diminishing it, just being with it. And then start to notice the space around your body, out to about an arm's length, that bubble of space, that globe of light. And just rub your hands together. If you want to stir it up and start to feel it, you can start to feel it around you. When you stir it up, it's an energy ball in your hands that allows you to kind of visualize it more easily and connect to it. This is the field of freedom that's yours to claim. Your sovereignty, and a way to know what's yours and what's not. Out to about an arm's length and draw a really strong boundary around that space. And push it out if you need to. Make it big if you'd like to, but not bigger than that arm's length for now. There's a way to connect with others without expanding into their space. And now I want to drop into a practice, and it is one that I've loved for years. It's in this book called The Places That Scare You by Pema Chodron. She's a Tibetan monk, beautiful author. It's a book called A Guide to Fearlessness in Difficult Times. Seems appropriate. I don't know if you agree with me. It's always felt appropriate, but now it's like, holy crap, we really need to be doing this Tibetan practice more than ever, right? Hello, Jen. Nice to see you. So I just want you to just take a breath now. This Tonglen practice is really about giving and receiving what is needed. So taking in that is suffering and difficulty in yourself and having compassion for that, and then sending out what's needed into the space around you. So it's a breathing in what's difficult, being with that, and then breathing out remedy, kindness, love, care, hope, whatever it is that's needed in the situation. Breathing that out. Breathing in the unwanted and difficult with a visualization I'll give you, and breathing out that which is breathing out the cure, so to speak, the love, the kindness, the peace. So before we start, I will also let you know that we start with a place of wide open expansiveness. So we'll do that to start. I'll chime the bells, and when I do, I want you to imagine a bright, open, starry sky where you can see all the planets, the stars, the Milky Way, out in the country somewhere, Or you might see a beautiful mountain vista or a lake or an ocean, a place where it's wide open space. So I will put on a little bit of music. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it very well through the recording, but there's a little bit of a monk's chant going on here that I'll have in the background. So now just taking a moment, I'm going to chime the bells, and I want you to start to visualize that bright, open, magnificent spaciousness, and just be in that flashing, bright, wide openness for a moment. Now I want you to bring to mind a challenge you might be experiencing in life right now. I think many of us are experiencing some kind of constriction or challenge, a situation that's causing anxiety, or a place within ourselves that we're running into that isn't as receptive and flowing as we'd like it to be. It's a challenging time. So as you're breathing in that situation, I want you to visualize some smoke, like heavy, dark smog, or a thick, yellow, heavy smoke, and breathing that into your heart. It seems counterintuitive, but work with me on this. Just breathe in constriction and smoke and dark and heavy. And then when you exhale, I want you to visualize light, spaciousness, openness, dewy, beautiful softness. So when you breathe in, smoke, constriction. Breathing out light and love, generosity, peace, whatever it is that is needed to provide a remedy to this situation within your heart. So for me right now, I'm breathing in compassion, or I'm breathing in the constriction, some grief, and breathing out gentleness. Breathing in the smoke, the heaviness, the thickness, the fog. Breathing out light, space, dewdrops, flowers, softness. So I'm just going to let us breathe quietly for ourselves for just a moment or two, breathing in that constriction, breathing out that space in your own rhythm for yourself and your own situation. If you can, try and make the breath, the inhale and the exhale, the same length, balancing that giving and that receiving, not making one more special or important than the other. just as you're breathing, see if you can move just beyond the inhale and exhale of breath and allow that inhale to include every pore in your skin, letting it in through your skin, letting it out through your generous skin. So your whole body is engaged in this breathing in of smog and heaviness and breathing out of light and freshness, so that it's happening with your whole being. Now bring to mind someone who ignites your sense of compassion. And I know this is so easy to do right now. Someone who's on your mind and in your heart that's struggling. For me, it's my parents who are in their final days and weeks. I don't know for how long, but in this place of, they're on my mind and my heart all the time. And those of us in the family who are caring for them, there's people in my community I am thinking of and holding close. Just people in your community that are struggling with something. And you might just, again, breathe in that constriction, that smog, that tightness, that claustrophobia with every pore in your body, and then breathing out what you think would help them. A sense of space, breathing in the loneliness, breathing out the companionship, the love. Might be breathing in grief, breathing out a bouquet of flowers, breathing in isolation, breathing out companionship, connection. You get the idea. So now I want you to bring yourself, the challenges that you are facing immediately, those that you've been thinking about, those that you're loving and wanting to support somehow. And then extending that out into this city, your city, the people you don't know, the people who are supporting you out in the community, our frontline workers, our politicians who are making some interesting and hopefully supportive decisions, and out into the larger world, other countries, places where there is extreme suffering. Just including them in what you take in, and then breathing out what you imagine would be the remedy, the support. And we're not doing that to try and fix anything, but simply to let ourselves be present and not be afraid of these feelings of difficulty, that we don't have to run away from the challenges, that we can sort of be non-resistant to them. That is the key here. So when we can keep breathing through the challenges and breathe out some light and some love, we become more whole. So now breathing in that constriction, that smog, that darkness, that heaviness. Breathing out peacefulness, rainbows, spaciousness, friendship, support. So now just gently wiggling your fingers and your toes if you've gone into a deeper place. Just bringing yourself back and knowing this practice is here and you can do it when you're at the grocery store and you can feel the anxiety around you, if that's your experience. And just breathing in that constriction and that fear that some people are feeling, not everyone, some. And breathing out space, openness, more room for everyone. And if you're worrying about your grandmother who can't be having visitors right now, you can breathe in her loneliness and her isolation and breathe out your love and compassion and care. These are situations you can breathe in and breathe out wherever you are, in your own home if you're struggling and frustrated and feeling helpless. These are places to breathe in that space and breathe out so you don't have to resist it and shut down. What we need more than ever is for an open heart and a little kindness and generosity towards ourselves and others. And this balanced breathing in and breathing out are the best way I know how to be with what is and soften in this space of great challenge. So I hope this is helpful to you today. I am sending you my enormous love, gratitude for your participation. Thanks so much for being with me live and for catching the recording. I'm so grateful every week to do this. And I look forward to seeing you next week. And I hope this Easter weekend is one of refreshing space and a sense of new life burgeoning under the soil and poking out some nice green shoots for you. Big love. We'll talk to you again soon. Namaste. Bye for now.